Okay, let's go.
Looking good though, feeling good. This bike hauls ass though. Observation. Next, dude.
Okay, say bye-bye.
Alright, we're gonna do a little test here. We're gonna see if this bike or this bike is more efficient when I ride it. Alright, the variables of this test. So variable number 1 on the gas. I have not rode this trail yet at all today. I've been on it a couple times in the past, but other than that, I may be taking it a little easy because I don't know the trail yet. When I jump on the e-bike, I just ripped it. I know where the cautions and the hard spots are. So that's variable number 1. Variable number 2 on the e-bike. All the high-speed stuff is, it has trial suspension, and at that, it's not even very good trial suspension. It's not really adjustable at all. So, my outcome is that, you know, I don't think the motor and the power delivery is going to be the issue. I think the suspension on this bike is going to outdo the electric bike, and I feel like that's where this is going to come out on top. See, like, which one has more heart rate, higher speeds, time, and everything. So right here, we're going to do like, there it goes. I don't even know where I'm gonna go and turn around at, you know what I mean? So, like I said, not 100% sure. We're just ripping. Ooh, that stuff's gonna eat that electric bike suspension up. Those like old bridges, those are rough. I'll probably lose a lot of time there just in suspension. Also, I haven't been on this bike at all today. I've been riding the e-bike, so advantage number 2 to the e-bike. I'll be interested to see too how actually fast I go on the e-bike with no sound. Like, will I like feel like I'm not going as fast, or will I feel like I'm going faster than this bike because there's no noise and it'll cause me to slow down? That'll be an interesting observation. We're gonna go left. This is the edge trail. Oh, it's so rough. Those hurt so bad. Advantage number 3 to the e-bike going. Second is, I'll probably have the majority of those broken from just smashing into them. Looking good though, feeling good. It's a little dry up here. But that's no mean this thing doesn't seem to really care. Here we go. Remember, we got to come back up stuff too, so that's where we're gonna notice things too. Is the camera decided to quit recording. There is some footage done on it, but super frustrating. But to keep the test fair, I'm not gonna go ride that on a second time on the loop. It's 1 for 1, so we did the update on these DJI cameras. It was like, these were like the best cameras in the world, and now we're having weird little issues. So, on the e-bike now. When I got done and came through this trail, I was at 14:08 on the time, and my ending heart rate was 175. So, keep that in mind as we rip this. We're going to turn this on. I'm going to just take off in 3 power here. And there we go. I feel like suspension is going to be the biggest downfall of this bike. And keep in mind, this is trials suspension, so that's just not going to handle this fast-paced stuff here. Just designed for different stuff, but nonetheless, still an interesting test. Ow! Yeah, this bike kind of, with the suspension, just gets bullied around is what it feels like. Ugh, so freaking soft on the suspension. It just got buckled and loaded up. Obviously, they make e-bikes with actual dirt bike suspension, but I don't have that one, so we're doing the test on this one. Definitely more cautious because the suspension, like I said, is not going to handle the hits like the 300 does at high speed anyways. Doing pretty good though for what it is, honestly. Ugh, that's rough though. The pegs are not as sticky as what you would think. They're kind of slippery, honestly. This bike hauls ass though. Stay left, just like the other bike. Ow, that really hurt. Dude, these sticks suck. I don't think the motor package would be the downfall if I get a lesser time. It's going to be all suspension, guarantee it. Because this thing has plenty of grunt on the motor. Plenty of grunt. Going down through this stuff. All in all, it tell me this one overheated and shut off too. All right. DJI, your stuff is getting shitty. 16 minutes flat on that. I didn't look what I'm already in recovery on heart rate, but we'll see. I'm at 152 on my heart rate now. I'm really bummed. I don't know where the camera shut off, guys. Oh, when stuff starts messing with your filming, super frustrating. Yes, I was 2 minutes slower on this than the 300. And I don't blame that on motor package at all. I blame it on suspension. This is trial suspension. It's not going to handle hauling ass and hitting a bunch of straight edges like that. Climbing was beast mode. Nothing climbs like electric power. It's so impressive climbing stuff. And then the motor it was lacking nowhere. The motor was lacking absolutely nowhere. I had it in level 3, obviously the highest power it makes. Started that trail at 100% and I'm at 70%. Pushing it fairly hard. I mean, if I had better suspension, I could push it harder, but pushing it to about the edge of where I felt comfortable and not ruining this trial suspension. But I'd love to do this test on a more hard enduro trail. I feel like I will have the advantage on this bike if I get into some really steep and deep technical stuff, honestly, over my 300, which is wild to say. Like, I don't even like saying it, but I mean, it's the truth, unfortunately. I am so disappointed in DJI. I don't know if it's overheating. If I take it off Vivid and start filming back in standard, see if that helps. Well, amongst everything, this is the kickstand off the electric bike. I took it off because the spring that goes to it, when we were like riding it, doing log hops around here and stuff, it would like come down on its own, and it seemed really sketchy, so I just took it off. And then another thing, the test, not only did the cameras die in the middle of the test where you guys couldn't get actually like badass footage, and I was actually on this bike, and in that sense, flat front tire now. So we're gonna run into the little town that's down from here and see if maybe they have a motorsports thing. Maybe I can find a tube. But I didn't get a pinch flat on this bike because the suspension made me have to slow down and be more conscious of where I rode, versus the suspension's so good on this bike that I like everything you're hitting you don't even really feel, but apparently the front tire feels it. Sorry, front tire. But hopefully, you know, I got the camera thing I think figured out. I think what it was is when you do the update, you can film this on the color scheme or whatever it's called. You can pick neutral or vivid, the same. So I had to update this one, put them both to vivid, and that is when I started running into the issues. Although last week we didn't run into any of those issues. I'm like, we filmed like for like 20 minutes straight before shutting cameras off, but now they're shutting off and it's not that hot out. I don't know, but I'm under the impression if maybe the vivid thing is making them overheat faster. They're still at 4K 60 frames per second on the Rocksteady ultra wide setting, but I switched them back from vivid to neutral. We'll see if they shut off on me now. All I know is I never had these issues. Did the update, didn't think I had these issues. I know on one of the YouTube videos I talked about the cameras were shutting off because they were overheating, but it was like 100 and some freaking degrees out while I was riding. Like, that's understandable to up here in the high country, when I took off yesterday, it was in the evening, it was probably maybe 70 degrees. Hi.
No? Yes?
We found a tube. I think I have one tire spoon. Show you something kind of cool I did. So, obviously I have an axle wrench, which we have 2 of them now. I found the other one in our camper, so we got 2 tire spoons. Perfect. But if you're out on the trail, it's all you got to carry in your pack. Because underneath here is all of my tools. And then I got the wrenches, and these are double-ended wrenches, so it's like, I think I have 6 through 14 size, and then all of your attachments that come with most KTMs, Huskies and stuff. Good reason why when you're at home in your shop, you should change tires with just spoons and not the big fancy tire changing tools, because when you're out here and you have these thick ass freaking annoying little spoons, at least you still have good knowledge of how to change a tire with just a couple spoons, instead of forgetting that valuable skill set because you're so used to using the fancy tire changing machines. Just a thought. Well, this thing doesn't seem like it got a pinch flat. We just put bubble soap all the way around it. It's not blowing bubbles anywhere, so I guess it may have gotten something. That's weird because I had a cap on it, but it could have gotten something in the valve stem, or the valve stem maybe got loose and let the air out, because we had it down in there. Like, yeah, there's nothing. But nonetheless, this is the stock tube, which is super thin. And I guess we got a spare tube now to keep in the trailer. We'll leave it aired up and see if it goes down at all. Yeah, there's a company, I can't remember the name of them, that used to make this. You remember what it was called? But they disappeared, like the company went out of business or something. You would be amazed at how much weight this saves and room for your packs. It's just something. And then, like I said, like down here, if you can see that plastic right there, that is 2 extra levers. That's an extra clutch lever and extra brake lever, and that's just zip tied to the frame right there. Who is it?
Rock Ready.
Yeah, Rock Ready. It's the one that used to make that, but they're unavailable anymore, at least in the States. Oh, it's Euro again. I don't know if you can get it in the States. That's the problem. All this stuff that like works really cool and really awesome with the Enduro world, like for some reason the United States doesn't like it. But anyways, we'll go over what's in my fanny pack. So I got the toolkit in there. I do put, where is it? This. I do put this little pad back over it, just in case you like rack yourself or whatever. You gotta still have some padding. Spare levers, zip tied to the frame in there. And then in the pack here, we got, like I said, I like fanny packs more than backpacks. There is my spot, rides right there. Inside here, click this open. Spare drinking utensil thing, because those pop off sometimes. Toe strap, an axle wrench goes in here, and then down in here we have, since we're running tubeless, this is a re-air kit, and then obviously we have the puncture plugs. And the plugs are in there somewhere, floating around in there somewhere. But yeah, that's what we got. And then obviously ass load of zip ties. And then on this top big one, that's where my water pack goes. Water, and then it comes out, loops around my waist tucks into the side. A lot of people like to run them up and have the connector there. I just like it down there, out of the way. And that's pretty much all I carry in my pack. I am going, this is an old fly racing pack. This is back when I used to race National Hare and Hound. Like, I've had that long. So I'm gonna be looking for a new pack here shortly. All right, so I'm gonna go over the reason that I think fanny packs are a little better than backpacks for riding. And it dawned on me, whole time racing, riding, I have a Climb knack pack, I think. I wear it occasionally when I need to bring like extra fuel on extra long rides, more tools, stuff like that. But I always preferred fanny packs over backpacks. And one thing I always struggled with was this lower fatigue back pain right here. And you know, I'm constantly in the gym, and things that I study and watch, you know, in a riding platform, and you're trying to engage different muscle memory when you're in that attack position, is like when I'm down here in the attack position riding and I'm doing all the things, I want more engagement in my hamstrings here and less engagement of lower back like this. So if I can get my ass back and feel that engagement here, way less fatigue. So like in the gym, I do a lot of the the half deadlifts down to your knees, and just focusing on driving your hips forward and really engaging back here and not your lower back. What dawned on me not long ago talking to Brooke about it, of, you know, just like a weightlifting belt, when you're doing deadlifts and lifting with a weightlifting belt, the reason that thing's cinched down and on there is it takes your body's ability somewhat to try to use the lower back muscles. It forces your body to have to compensate and use your glutes and hamstrings. And I think that is why I like a fanny pack. And what dawned on me yesterday is, since I'd switched over to this tool technique and had less tools, and I don't have my water bladder because I'm just doing a short sprint here, my pack was way less loaded, so it was loose. It wasn't tight like it normally is. Well, instantly I'm out there riding. First thing I was talking about, which you won't see in the video because it died, but I had lower back fatigue, and I was like, man, I haven't had that since I was like a kid, you know, because of all the way I ride and train. Well, I always ride with a fanny pack, and we're gonna see if my theory is true, because today I tightened my fanny pack back up to where it's tight, like a weightlifter's belt again, on me. And during this rip, I'm gonna see if I get lower back fatigue or if this really actually is helpful. We'll find out. I don't even know, but that's a theory. And it is going. It's not exact to the second, but it's an idea. Once again, advantage to the e-bike because I'm not warmed up and I haven't rode this trail yet. It is a little dry slick out. Quite a bit of rocks through here. And I'm not pushing super hard today, not like I was yesterday. Just not feeling the need for speed. Just going for smooth. This is still pretty rocky, but not like the other trail we were on. A little bit of a side hill action. It's kind of windy out today, but it feels good. There we go. Oh. Get going and looking at the log I didn't want to hit. A little bit of a sick enduro thing. That's weird. Must be tree huggers trying to block the trail because they don't like dirt bikes. 100%. That's what it is. Yep. What it is this had water running down it, so somewhere out there some yuppie ass tree huggers thinking that this trail didn't need any more erosion, so they blocked it off. Nothing to do with Forest Service or nothing. So this is gonna have a hindrance. Oh, they did it all the way up. God, I love people. Well, this is kind of a hindrance on our test, but we're at 3 minutes and 12 seconds here. I guess we'll turn around and run it back. I guarantee you it was hikers. People that hate dirt bikes and think that we're the problem, when in reality we're the ones that build and maintain all these trails for everybody. Super frustrating. I guess the test will run up to that first log. That's going to be another advantage to the e-bike. Is that I'll know right where to turn around, not waste a bunch of time. And if you're wondering about the previous theory I had with the fanny pack, I seriously have zero back fatigue on my lower back. Kind of falling off the edge there. Should probably quit talking so much and worry more about riding. Yeah, I have zero back fatigue at all. Pretty wild that, you know, a little fanny pack like that would help. Just like a weightlifting belt, like I was talking about, just causes your body to not try to overcompensate with other muscles and makes you use the designated muscles, which is your glutes and hamstrings. Nice rocks down here. Bike feels good on them. This stuff's pretty slick. Pretty dry and slick up here right now. And this thing's handling very well. Go right through this section right there, boom. And that is the loop, 6 minutes, 17 seconds. Obviously, it wasn't pushing as hard. This thing seems like it recorded the whole thing, thank God. Heart rate is a 156. I didn't check it. I didn't even look as soon as I stopped. My heart rate tends to recover pretty quick. But we'll go test the e-bike now. Pretty fun little comparison we're going to do here. And let's do it. myself reaching for the rear brake pedal. That is one of the hardest things to overcome, I've found, is that you just go reaching for the rear brake pedal. This section is a little sketchy. Trying not to get a pinch flat in here. Ooh. I do have to say, like, riding this kind of stuff with this bike on trial suspension, it feels bad for the bike, honestly. It just feels like you're just ruining stuff on the suspension end of the bike. I'm not sure if that's true or not. This kind of stuff, it does fine in. Like I said, electric power climbs like nobody's business, so feeling it on this little side hill here, feels really good. I feel like I'm riding this a lot more similar to how I was riding it yesterday, whereas the 300 today I was not riding it near on the level of aggression I was on yesterday. This will be an interesting test here. Ooh, up this stuff, no problem. Yeah, I grabbed my peg, decided to drag on a rock. All right, here's the first little bit. So we'll try to ride this over at least here, because this is where I turned around on the 300. I actually was a little bit further up, but then we'll make our way back. The power is so cool. I mean, you know, even if this, once again, with all the advantages, doesn't beat the time of the 300 again, I do have to say there is no ounce of fun loss. Like, I'm having just as much fun with maybe a little more, like, I just still like jaw drop that I can do this on an electric bike. It's so impressive, like, honestly. And once again, I do have to say and bring it up, the fanny pack, I have no lower back fatigue. Super impressed with that. I did make quite a few more mistakes on my 300 today. I feel like I'm just nailing the lines a little better on this bike. Once again, I just rode it on the 300, so there is an advantage there, obviously. This slows me down a lot though. And like I said, this is just suspension though. Like, there's plenty of e-bikes that have full dirt bike suspension where this stuff probably wouldn't slow you down at all if you had it set up right. Dropping down this a little more. There we go. Oh, come on. I don't know. I feel like I might beat my time. I feel like it's gonna happen. $5:30. So, yes, I beat my time. What was my time on the other one? 6:17 or something? That was with the whole, you know, kind of stopping and dealing with the tree huggers. That I'm still pretty irritated about that, but that cock blocked the whole trail. So, all in all, if you put them together, probably pretty similar time rates if you took away the spot where I sat there on the 300 for a minute deciding if I should keep going or turn around. Pretty similar. That's how I'm gonna put it. That's wild. But as you saw on the other one, well, you guys didn't get to see because this camera is not shutting off now. By the way, if you have an Action 5, don't film in vivid mode. That's what I've just discovered. It's not shutting off now. It's not overheating. But on the other video, it was a lot bigger, rocky, rooted up gnarliness. And that is where I beat this bike by almost 2 minutes. And that was just suspension. Like I was talking about, though, I don't think that there is a lack at all in the motor. This is on level 3, and 100%, this on level 3 is plenty of power. And then if I open the app, I could even turn it up more if I wanted. It's got some pull to it. It's definitely fast enough that you can't seem to find a top end on like trails like this. Like I run into having to slow down for corners and, you know, obstacles before I'm able to find a top end on it, which is fairly impressive. I do not know what the speeds are I'm doing, but I've got to be hitting that, you know, 30 plus miles an hour. I believe, like I said, this thing has a top speed of 62 miles an hour. I wouldn't be able to tell you, like, how they got 62 miles an hour. Like, was it on pavement with everything turned up to 100% and with, you know, that kind of stuff? But honestly, with the way electric power builds and puts power to the wheel, anything that is doing over 40 miles an hour is impressive, because most mountain riding, you're not really doing over 40 miles an hour. Like, you might see 40 on like a little section for a blip, and then it's back down into the, you know, 20s, 30s, and most of the time less than that. You're in the between fucking 15 and 20 mile an hour. So it's got the torque and speed to handle it. But the thing about the top speed, not finding it, is what I was getting at there is, like, even on those higher speed stuff that I'm hammering down, like, you can still feel it pulling. Like, it still has torque. It's not like hitting a top out. So it's got plenty of power.